everyone, welcome back. My name is Morgan. This is my channel, Pisces Paperbacks, and today I'm doing something that's like a different format than I've done before. So today I want to look back and respond to my 2020 reading goals video. I haven't rewatched them or anything, so I don't know what I said, but I'm just interested to see if I succeeded, if I met any of these goals. I also think it's just about time. I posted my 2020 goals video December 29th of last year, and so it's almost that time, you know. We're getting close to the end of the year, so I thought this would just be a good time to reflect, think about how I've been doing, how I've been reading, and I just thought it would be fun. So let's get started. Hi guys, welcome back. First of all, I have no idea what the fuck's going on with my hair. I know it's in a ponytail, but like, girl, what the fuck? I'm Morgan, this is my channel Pisces Paperbacks, and today I'm going to be talking about my 2020 reading resolutions and goals for the next year. I have a list of 5 reading goals and channel goals, and then 5 specific books that I'd like to read next year. So the first one is that next year I am setting my reading goal, my Goodreads goal, at 120 books, or at least 10 books per month. So I did this goal because last year I read 112 books and I was like, oh, I can reach 120, and I have successfully read 120 books, but my justification for 10 books a month is that last year I had some very good reading months and some very bad reading months in terms of numbers, and honestly the same exact thing happened this year. I had 2 months this year where I read 18, 19, 3 months this year where I read 18, 19, 20 books, and then other months where I was 4 books, 5 books, and honestly, the 10 books a month thing I don't think is ever really going to work for me. I don't think setting minimums like that is really something that I want to do, so I can see where the thinking came from. I did not successfully fulfill this goal, but at this point, I'm not going to make that a goal for myself ever again, so we live and learn, I guess. As for my channel, I've said a couple times that I'd like to post 2 videos a week. Clearly, that has not worked out successfully for me. So I think for next year, I'm gonna set a more realistic goal. 1 video a week, but trying for 2. Again, kind of succeeded, kind of didn't. So I definitely was a lot more consistent this year. So the stretches of time where I was posting consistently were a lot longer and better planned out. But I did actually just try and do 2 videos a week. I kind of immediately forgot about the 1 video a week thing, but I posted pretty regularly for the first several months of the year, and then took a month off in the summer, and then I've been posting pretty regularly again since the beginning of September. Maybe not, I don't really remember, but honestly I feel my consistency has gotten a lot better this year, which is really nice. It makes me feel I accomplished something. But yeah, definitely 1 video a week wasn't the move. I really like the schedule that I have right now. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I try to post every Monday and Thursday, so yeah. Another thing I'd like to do is read 1 nonfiction book every month. Okay, so this I think has really been a success. Last year I only read 1 nonfiction book the entire year, and it was in December, and I liked it a lot more than I had expected to. And so this year I wanted to try reading 1 nonfiction book per month. I didn't succeed, so I didn't each month, I definitely think I missed 1 or 2, maybe 3 months where I didn't read a nonfiction book, but in terms of numbers, I have read more than 12 nonfiction books this year, which is equals out to 1 per month. And this year is actually, I've read more nonfiction than any other year in my entire life, except for maybe school, and I didn't even really do my readings for school. So this year has been really good for nonfiction for me, and I know that in my mid-year goals video, I say I want to focus on reading 2 or 3 nonfiction books per month, and I have thus far gotten pretty close. There's some months where I only read 1, but I'm doing really well on the nonfiction front this year, and I'm very proud of myself. Audiobook for nonfiction has revolutionized my life. So the next thing that I want to prioritize as a goal for next year is reading the books that I own. Okay, so reading the book that I own as a goal kind of worked out, kind of didn't. As far as I can remember, I picked this because I was buying more books than I had before last year, and I was well, I need to start reading the books that I own and not just like buying more books to read and then never reading the books that I've had for a while. And on one hand, I guess I've bought less books this year. Kind of, not really. It's been more spread out, less like big purchases. But on the other hand, I would say probably, I'm just guessing because I don't have the statistics, but I think probably 60% of the books that I've read so far this year are library books. So specifically audiobooks. I read a lot of audiobooks this year, and audiobooks I only get from the library, so it just kind of skews in that direction. And I definitely have not been successful in this. Like, I have barely read my own, like, backlist TBR. Like, this year was a really big year for just buying books and then reading them right away, which is good because I'm not, like, waiting and, like, having them forever, but I definitely haven't done this. This one is kind of crazy, but I'd like to make it to 100 subscribers next year, like by the end of 2020. I think that'd be like crazy cool. I have over 200 subscribers, like just over. I oscillate up and down, like 2 or 3 or 4 subscribers, like the number changes, but right now as I'm filming this, I have 206 subscribers by the end of 2020, which is like really big for me. 200 subscribers was always the number where I was like, it would be like crazy if I got to 200 subscribers. I probably never will, and that's okay. So like the fact that I'm here already and I've only been doing like all of this for like less than 2 years, it makes me really happy. So I did succeed. Those were like my 5 like channel goals, and now I believe I'm going to talk about the 5 books that I wanted to read this year. So let's see. I'm not very hopeful about this. The first one I want to talk about is Scythe by Neil Schusterman. This is a book that I have not read. Scythe. I've not read Scythe. I never think about it. Like when I'm picking books, I never think about it. And I think it's because I bought it probably 3 years ago. And in the past, this year especially, I've kind of realized that I don't really read that much YA. Like I always thought of myself as a really big YA reader, you know what I mean? I don't think of myself as someone who like doesn't read YA. All of my favorites from like back in the day, but I was a teenager, were YA, and like I would only ever hang out in like the YA section of the library. And so when I bought this, you know, I buy books thinking that I really love YA, and then now I read them and I'm like, well, they're okay. So when I'm picking books to read, I just don't think about it. So I will try and read it again this year. Like I'll probably put it on like my mental 2021 TBR, but like I really don't know when I'm gonna get to that one, and I'll get to it eventually because I'm not gonna throw it away. I'm not gonna like, or not throw it away, but I'm not gonna unhaul it. But yeah, I have not read Scythe. Another book I'd like to read is Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. I have read Giovanni's Room. I did. I read it this summer and I really liked it. I'm so happy I read it. I had a feeling that I'd like it, but like I didn't know because it is like not a classic, but it's older. It was written in like the 60s, 50s, 60s, I forget. Elsa, what are you doing? So yeah, I read that one. Check. I did it. The next book I want to read is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. So Valette is the only other book by Charlotte Bronte that I've like heard people talk about, and I have not read it. I have not yet read it. I'm a little nervous too because like I love Jane Eyre so much, but yeah, that one is a fail for me. I have not read it yet. I didn't even know I had this book in 2019. I thought I bought that this year. The next one is a large departure from Charlotte Bronte, and that is Lord of the Rings. I read my bind up of Lord of the Rings. I read all 3 Lord of the Rings books in one video, and it's actually one of my favorite vlogs I've ever made. I will link it above, and I loved it. I loved the Lord of the Rings. All 3 books. The Fellowship of the Rings was my least favorite, and then the Return of the King was my favorite. So I can't believe I read all 3. I'm honestly shocked at myself. I've had that book for like a decade and I never even like glanced at it. So I'm really proud of myself that I read that one and I loved it, which is also fun. So it's good to read books that you like. I think that's the moral there, so check. I did it. Last but not least is Game of Thrones by George.R.R. Martin. No, I did not read Game of Thrones. I'm honestly thinking I might rewatch the first like 6 seasons because I never saw the last 2 seasons, but I kind of miss the characters, but like not enough to want to read it. Isn't that awful? Yeah, I did not read Game of Thrones this year. I don't know. I'll get to it eventually. Honestly, I'm thinking I might change my tune on that and wait until the last book is released, however long that takes, and then read it, because I don't think I can commit to those big fucking books with no guarantee of a conclusion. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. No. No, I didn't succeed in this goal, and you know what? I'm glad I didn't, because I can't take that. I don't want to do that to myself. Alright, so I feel like generally I did pretty well. Kind of like 50-50 on those goals, but generally I'm happy with where I turned out. Oh, and I hit 200 subscribers, which is like incredible. It's always good to reflect, so you're like consistently learning, growing. I feel like looking back on my goals really lets me know like what I want to change and adjust going into the future, because I don't want to like repeat things or whatever. But I had a really nice time. I hope you enjoyed this video. It wasn't like super exciting, but it's always nice to like look back, reflect. I had a nice time. Let me know what your goals were for 2020, and like did you meet any of them, because the pandemic really made me adjust some plans and expectations for my life and my reading, and I definitely think that happened with a lot of people. So let me know how your year of reading has gone. Have you met your goals? What was the hardest goal for you to meet? Because I feel like for me it was definitely consistency in posting. I will have moments where I have like a lot of ideas, and then like moments where I have like no ideas and I just don't know what to do, but I like want to be making videos because I love talking about books, but I'm like not very good at doing recommendations, so it's like, ugh, I don't know what to do. So that one was definitely, I think, the hardest for me. So I will see you guys next time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!